Students, welcome to the another lessons for class 10 SEBA board computer science students. So today we'll be seeing the arrays in C. So we already covered the part 1 in our previous video. This is the part 2 of the current ongoing array lessons in C. So before we start this lesson, I just wanted to let all the students who are viewing this video is that we are soon going to start our online classes, and the classes are totally free of cost. I just uh, wanted to let you know, whoever are studying in class 10 SEBA board and are going to appear for the final exam can uh, register for the same, and I will provide you the link to register for the classes in the description of this video. Okay, so let's begin. So basically we will be seeing three programs today. The first one is like the finding the largest among the numbers. So what basically happens is, in this problem statement, the user enter like how many number he wanted to enter. Say for example, user has entered 5, and then we allow the user to enter those numbers. So here are the 5 numbers the user has entered, and the problem is to find the largest among this number. So the largest among this number is 33. Okay, so this is the problem statement. Initially we'll ask the user to write the total number of input that needs to be taken, and then the user is prompt to enter the input in the form of array. We'll take it up in the form of array, and from the user's input, whatever the input the user has given, we will display what is the largest among this number. So in this case it is 33, right? So this program should print 33. So this is the overall idea, and then the same thing we need to implement in C programming. Okay, so let's see how it goes. So here we declared a number as an array of say size 20, and then we have the total element. Total element is a variable that is declared to take input from the user, like how many elements they want to enter. So here we did the scanf, and then we asked the user to enter the total element. So the user has entered the total element, and then now taking the input to the array element. Now the user is entering the numbers. Okay, so here if you see, we have done the scanf. It is the same way like how we used to do in the other program. Okay, and this is the overall logic. Okay, so I have explained this logic in this tabular format. If you see here, so initially what happened, we took one variable called the largest. Okay, and then we assigned the first element of the array to the largest. So if you see here, the current largest is updated as 10. Okay, so in the largest variable, in this largest variable, whatever the user has entered the number, the first element will be updated as the largest. So now the largest is updated as 10. Then we start the for loop from the I is equal to 1. That means we already assigned the largest to this one. So we will only be caring about this input now, because the reason why it is done is we already updated the largest number as 10, and when we go through all these elements that the user has entered, we will keep updating the largest number based on the logic. Okay, and if you see here, the first index it is 25, now the 25, and the current largest is 10. Now we have this logic, number I greater than largest. Okay, so number of I will take as 25 greater than largest was 10, so 25 is greater than 10. Yes, if it is greater than 10, then we update the largest to the new number 25, and this updation of the largest number will happen only if this condition becomes true. Okay, so if you see here, the condition is number is greater than largest. So if this 25 is greater than the largest that we have in the current variable, then we update this largest variable to that number. Okay, so we updated the largest to 25. Okay, now the program moves forward. The program took the third element here 7, and then the current largest is 25. Now number greater than largest, 7 greater than 25. Is 7 greater than 25? No. So the condition become false. It doesn't execute this condition. So in this case what happens? The largest remains unchanged. So the largest will be 25 only. Okay. Then the program continues. Then it took 33. Okay. The current largest is 25. Now number greater than largest. So what is the number? Number is 33. 33 greater than, what was the last largest? Last largest was 25. Is 33 greater than 25? Yes, 33 is greater than 25. Then we update the largest variable from 25 to 33. Okay. So now this condition got executed and the largest variable is assigned to 33. Okay. The program continues. The final number is 18 and then the current largest is 33. So number greater than largest is our condition. 18 greater than 33. 18 is not greater than 33. So the largest remains the same. And then this loops complete. So this for loop terminates here. And then if you see here, there is a printf statement outside the for loop. And then this prints the largest variable. Whatever is the value of the largest variable, it prints here. So it prints the number 33. Okay. So this is how the program gets executed to find the largest amongst the number, and hope this is clear to everyone. So we'll move on to the next program. So this is another problem statement which says like print even number in a series. What generally happens is it is the like same kind of execution, like we ask the user to enter like what is the total number of elements they want to enter. Then we started taking the input from the user using the scanf. Then we start taking the input from the user in the form of scanf. And then if you see here, right, this is the overall logic. Okay. The logic is like number percentage 2. Okay. So if you see here, the first user is entered this variable. These are the inputs user has entered. So 12, 7, 25, 40, 33. And the logic is number percentage 2. Okay. So the number percentage 2 will give 12 percentage 2. And what the percentage will give? Percentage will give you the remainder. Okay. So if say for example the number is 20, 20 percentage 2 will give you the 0. And this please note down this point, like it is not like 20 divided by 2 and the answer is 10. Okay, it is 20 percentage 2, which means 20 divided by 2, how much it will give? How much the remainder will be? The remainder is 0, right? Because 20 is divisible by 2. Okay, so it will give you 0. Now if you see 21 percentage 2, it is not like what is the result of 21 divided by 2. That is not the case. The case is what would be the remainder? What would be the remainder when 21 will be divided by 2? The remainder is 1, because 2 tens are 20 and then there would be 1 that would become as a remainder. So that is the thing. So this is the overall logic. Okay. Now the user has entered these numbers. 12 percentage 2. Is 12 divisible by 2? Yes. The remainder will be 0 and then the condition will become true. In this case 12 is an even number that would be printed. because this condition will becomes true. Here the condition is whenever the remainder is 0, then we print that number. Okay, so if this condition is becoming as true, then we are printing that number in the output. Okay, then we move on to the next number. User has entered 7 percentage 2 will give how much? 1, because if you divide 7 by 2, then 2 3 is 6, 1 would be the remainder. So 1 is the remainder, but our condition is this printf statement will only be executed if the remainder is 0. Here the remainder is coming as 1, this condition becomes false and nothing got printed. Similarly, we took 25. If you divide 25 by 2, then 2 12 is 24 and there would be 1 as a remainder. Okay, and this condition is executed only if the remainder is 0. Okay, so nothing got printed. Then again the user entered 40. If you divide 40 by 2, then 2 20 is 40. Okay, and then the remainder is 0 because it is fully divisible by 2. Now this condition, if you see, number percentage 2 is equal to 0, this condition becomes true and then 40 got printed. Now again 33. 2, if you divide 33 by 2, 2 1 is 2, then 13, 2 6 is 12, then 1 will come as a remainder. Okay, then if 1 is coming as a remainder, then our condition becomes false and then nothing got printed. So in this case 12 is an even number and 40 is an even number is getting printed. So this is how like the even number program printing gets executed, and this is the overall logic and the explanation. So we'll move on to the next part. This is also like the kind of same thing that we have done in our like the previous program where we are printing the even numbers, but the only change is we, instead of printing what is even number or what is the even number, here the thing is like what is the count of even number. Okay, the problem statement is little different here. In this case is like we were just printing earlier like what is the even number, right? Here we need to give the count of even number. Say for example, this is the input the user has entered. From this list of input, like how many even numbers are there? So we know this is the even number, this is the even number, and this is the even number. So the count should be 3. So it is the same thing, like we initialize the array of number, then we have total element, and then we have took count variable. Then what we did, we took the input from the user, and then here if you see the program is same, like the program is same, like this is the program like how we printed the even number, right? But what happens here, we have added one additional logic here. So we initialize the count variable to 0. We initialize the count variable to 0. Then every time the condition is becoming true, like whenever the program is getting that even number, we are updating that count to count plus 1. That means initially if the count is 0, whenever the program gets an even number, then it updates the count to count plus 1. So here if you see, initially the count is 0, 12, the condition is becoming true, and then what happens, count plus 0, 0 plus 1, because earlier the count was 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, and then the count variable is updated to 1. Now again the program executes. Here the condition becomes false, so it doesn't move inside. Okay, and then in 25 also the same logic like how we did in our previous thing. the condition becomes false and the count variable remains the same. Now here if you see in the 40, the condition becomes true, and then we update the count from count is equal to count plus 1. So earlier the count was 1, then we update with another 1, which makes the count to 2. Similarly for 18, since 18 is an even number, so here the condition becomes true, then we update the count to another 1, that means it becomes 3. And then finally 33 is an odd number, this condition becomes false, and then it doesn't move inside this block, and then the count remains the same. And finally after this for loop terminates, we print the final count. So currently the count is holding the number as 3. So this is the overall program and the dry run of like how the things work under the hood. Hope this is clear to everyone, and then we'll meet you in the next lesson. Thank you.